As it relates to running plumbing and HVAC businesses and trying to generate leads online, there's some challenges. There's some issues, and the ball is really constantly changing. The fact is, a lot of you are making big investments in marketing, and not just in internet, right? You're doing SEO, you're doing pay-per-click, you're probably doing some social media, maybe some paid social media advertising. A lot of you guys have made big investments in your vans and your trucks. Maybe you're running TV ads, billboard ads. Some of you still have ads in the yellow pages. The fact is, you're making a big investment in marketing, but in some cases, you've got traffic to your website. People are getting there, but you're not generating enough leads. Oftentimes, we do a lot of online advertising and offline advertising with very little return on investment. We're putting money out in a lot of places, but we're not really generating the leads. We're not generating the sales, which ultimately results in park trucks and empty schedules. We've got park trucks and empty schedules. We can't generate the revenue we need to continue to grow the business and to continue to scale, right? And so that's the challenge, right? All this money being spent going to, let's just say, potentially a website that's not truly built to convert and truly built to maximize the potential. So that's the problem. And really the opportunity is if we get this right, like we roll out a world-class website for our plumbing HVAC business that's truly built to convert, that's best in class, that separates us from the competition out there. Well, a couple things can happen. We can consistently start to convert visitors to callers from all of the different advertising we do. We consistently get the leads. We can keep our schedule full, our trucks running, and what that results in is momentum and consistent growth within our plumbing and HVAC businesses. And really gives us the ability to scale our marketing in every different area, because the website ultimately is the hub. And all of the advertising that you do ends up at your website. How many of you would agree? And I want to see this in the comments box. Yes, some people call via word of mouth, or yes, some people still have you saved in their phone. But at the end of the day, once somebody needs plumbing, HVAC, or home-related services, typically what they do is they run a quick Google search, maybe for your company name, or they type in your website directly, and they wind up on your website. And this is really the hub where everybody ends up. And so if your website isn't converting at the highest level possible, it drags down the return on investment from every advertising strategy that you have in play. So just as an illustration on why conversion is so important, scenario one, and then let's just say you've got a pretty good established marketing strategy. You get about 1,500 visitors per month getting to your website, and you've got a 5% conversion rate. I study plumbing HVAC websites, home service websites all the time, and it's not uncommon to see an average of 3 to 6% conversion, which means only like 3 to 6% of the people that get to the website actually wind up converting into a lead. So let's just say it's 5%. At 5% conversion on 1,500 visitors, you generate about 75 calls. And then let's say you convert 30% of those into book jobs that turn into revenue. That would mean for that 1,500 visitors, you can generate about 22 jobs, average transaction value of $450. You'd be able to generate about $10,000 in revenue from those 1,500 visitors, which isn't very good. By the time you pay overhead, by the time you pay for your advertising costs, really that's not going to take you very far. Now, on the flip side to that, keeping the same exact traffic to your website, 1,500 visitors, and you can bump that to just 15%. I think 15% is a low barometer for how well your plumbing or HVAC website should convert. Let's face it, the person got to the site, they were in need of plumbing, HVAC, or some other home-related services. They're ready to take action. As long as your website performs and makes them feel comfortable, they should call, right? I'm going to show you some examples converting north of 30%. But let's just say you can take it from 5% to 15%. For that same volume of traffic, you generate 225 leads. Keep the 30% conversion rate. That would be 67 book jobs. Keep the average transaction value at $450. That's $30,000 in revenue off the same traffic. And so this is just to really help kind of illustrate the importance of you should be looking at your website. You should be sitting in your customer's shoes and experiencing the process and focusing on making sure that it's built to convert at the highest level possible. Because that 3 times right there is the difference between positive return on investment or possible break even or failure, right? It's the difference between being able to scale your marketing budget and grow or having to cut back and say, well, you know what, obviously that didn't work and this isn't working. So you get this right and it can positively impact everything you do within your marketing strategy for your plumbing or HVAC business. And I just want to share an example of this. In the real world, one of the companies we work with is Lanny's. And they're a plumbing HVAC electrical service contractor based in Fargo, North Dakota. And we started working with them about 2.5, 3 years ago. And pretty well-established company, doing north of several $1 million per year in revenue, but not a great website. Website just was never really optimized. No personality, no authenticity, no real sense of this is a quality company, a best-in-class company. And so we've got on the left side over here, this is what the Lanny's website looked like prior, right? Just a template website, some broken images, phone number kind of presented in a funky way. And we rolled out a updated version of the site. And it had all the right elements that we're going to be unpacking for you on this session, right? Personality, authenticity, messaging that makes somebody want to choose them versus the competition, calls to actions in the right places. And just in changing the site, just in modifying the conversion elements, making sure that it kind of had that best-in-class feel, they went from 55 calls from the website to 317 calls from 1 month to the next. So they were getting traffic, but the traffic wasn't converting because it was hard to find the number. It wasn't mobile optimized. All of the little things we're going to be unpacking, and they significantly increased the number of leads. And so that's really what this is all about, like giving you the key insights, the key nuggets that you can go and look at your website, the lens to look at your website to say, okay, let's update this, let's modify that, and really maximize our call volume. And so, as I was preparing for this session and kind of looking at Lanny's call volume via the internet, I realized I do this session every year and I update it. And so I used this screenshot last year, January 2018, and you can see they had 930 calls via the internet from SEO, Google Maps, web forms. Obviously, the website is a big part of that. And I was like, wow, that's pretty good. I wonder how it's changed, right? Are they getting any more calls than they had prior? And so I ran the same report, a little bit cleaner, a little bit nicer. And January 2019, that's 1,598 calls. So I wonder how many of you guys are seeing a noticeable increase in the volume of calls that you're getting via the internet. And that's going back to the 2019 Internet Marketing Plan, just making sure you're showing up in all the places your customers are looking. You've got a great website that's built to convert. And so I just wanted to start there. Here's a real world example of what can happen when you truly optimize for conversion and you've got your website dialed in to convert at the highest level possible. Well, I hope you got value from that video. If you'd like more ideas, strategies, and techniques on how to really more effectively market your plumbing or HVAC business online, I'd like to invite you to go to plumberseo.net/checklist. There we've outlined the ultimate online marketing checklist for plumbing and HVAC contractors to really maximize your lead flow online. This really simplifies the entire online marketing equation into a checklist that you can easily identify what you should do next and what you could do to really probably double, triple, or even 10x the number of leads you're getting for your plumbing or HVAC business online. So you can get that completely free of charge, simple one-page checklist with a video that explains and kind of walks you through it. Just go to plumberseo.net/checklist. Talk to you soon.